Azusa bike to around 70 miles an hour with a really mild setup on a Predator 212. Had a 252 Rattlesnake cam, which is a really small cam, a stock head, a VM22 carb, and a header pipe, and of course the billet parts, billet rod, billet flywheel. And of course it has the 5-inch wheels, and it did 70 with a 3.3 ratio, 18 on the clutch and 60 on the rear sprocket. And then I put the Taco 22 together, which is a really similar setup. It has the 5-inch wheels, small frame. The only difference is this bike has a Tillotson 225 with the VM22 carb, header pipe, and it did around 60 miles an hour with a 5-to-1 ratio, 60 on the sprocket and 12 on the clutch. So this time around, I'm gonna throw the 18-tooth clutch on the Taco 22 mini bike, so it'll have the same gear ratio as the Azusa bike when it did 70, the 3.3-to-1 ratio, and I'll see if the Taco 22 will do 70. All right, let's swap out this clutch. This bike is super easy to do the swap on because it has that aluminum motor plate, so you only have to loosen up the 4 bolts underneath, and the motor will slide back. Easy work of the clutch swap, and I might not even have to add more chain. So you have a 12-tooth clutch and then the 18-tooth. Well, that's a big difference. So the 18 back on here, and hopefully I have enough chain. Let's see. Yeah, that was easy enough. We had enough chain. Okay, so I got the 18-tooth clutch on there, 3.3-to-1 ratio. So now I'm going to take it out to the same road that I ran the 70-mile-an-hour Azusa bike on, and we'll see if we can get the same speed out of it. But there is one thing I noticed on this chain guard here. I might have to pop this off and run it without the chain guard, because I noticed the 18-tooth clutch rubs on the chain guard a little bit. So when I get over there, I'll probably pop that off before I run it. Okay, let's see what it did so far. So far we did 65.16. I think the Azusa bike did 68 and some change, but it was still pulling. So I'll try it again. Let's see what it did that time. 65.25. So I think 65 is pretty much the top speed on this thing. So we did 65 and some change, but it seemed like it was still pulling before I had to get off. So maybe if I can find a little bit longer road, I can find the true top speed of the Tilly 225 with the 3.3 to 1 ratio. So last time around on this road with a 1260, the bike did around 59 miles an hour. 59.25 I think, or somewhere around there. So we'll see what it does on the same road with the 18 on the clutch. Alright, let's do a top speed, see what happens. So the bike got pretty close to 10 miles an hour faster with the 3.3 to 1 ratio. So the 12 on the clutch and a 60 on the rear sprocket, the bike did 59.27. Then I added an 18 tooth clutch for a 3.33 to 1 ratio. And I took it out on the flat road and the bike did 65.25, but I ran out of room. So then I took it up onto the same road that the bike did 59.27 on, and it did 68.02. So the Azusa bike and the Taco 22 are really similar in top speed with the 3.33 to 1 ratio. But for me, the Taco 22 with the Tilly 225 and the Stinger exhaust has a little bit better sound. Even though the two bikes seem like they're pretty similar in power,